This is a short clip from today's podcast episode.
So let's go back. Takeovers, or not takeovers, but selling out to private equity. So you're looking at the market, you're looking at your systems. So of course, your software system, Service Titan, things like that in place. Your customer database. Are they looking for you being active with existing customers and things like that? Or
yeah, I mean, it just depends on the model. If you can show that you've got a marketing plan that generates new leads all the time to sell, there's no problem there. If you're showing that you have a lot of consistent customers calling back and things like that, you've got to show that you've got a way to keep them coming and that it's not going to be, a one and done thing. The interesting thing is when we ran our data at Lee's, we found that it was like 90% of our revenue was generated in the first 30 days of meeting a customer. And that included adding all of our maintenance agreements. I would recommend check your actual data, run your data and find out when you actually sell your agreements. And, I just highly, highly, highly recommend it, because if you find out that you're selling all in the first 30 days, it just means that you're giving away profit for the rest of the time they're agreement customers. I'm not saying don't ever sell maintenance agreements. I'm just saying just be thoughtful about it. Don't be afraid to not sell them as much. I don't care about what my close rate is on maintenance agreements. I honestly don't. I only want to get the ones that are really juicy and that, truly need maintenance. I don't want to sell maintenance to people that don't need it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They're going out there and washing their condenser coil and changing their filter and all that stuff. For the first 5 years, they have the system. Fine, let them do it. There's nothing wrong with that. I would stand on any hill and say that. And I know that the diehard technicians would fight with me on it, but that's why I'm an owner and they're technicians. Like the reality is, I'm going to have the owner's mentality and I'm going to think about the returns and what's best for everyone involved and not spend all my time thinking about how I need to unscrew panels off the side of a unit every 6 months. Oh, and by the way, a lot of these people are putting hoses on the air conditioning system every single maintenance. And some of them do it as part of their marketing plan. And guess what? The EPA recommends you don't do that. There is a de minimis amount of refrigerant leaked on every single one of them. So a lot of these, when they do their maintenance, the reality is they come back and Mrs. Jones has a leak or whatever 6 months from now. And I can't find it. I put dye in the system and I ran my refrigerant leak detection. Well, the reality is Mrs. Jones doesn't have a leak. You've been putting your hoses on this system every 6 months and you've been leaking a little bit every single time. And it's 5 years, 10 years, whatever. And Mrs. Jones is out of refrigerant. That's the reality of the situation. You caused the problem by hooking those systems. And there's no way to not leak a de minimis amount of refrigerant every single time you go out there.
Wow.
So why are we doing this? Why are we causing all of our customers all this pain? Because we want to pound our fists in the ground and say maintenance is the key and that's the right thing to do. It's not always the right thing to do.
Interesting.